right, guys. I gotta unbox this metal bezel MUDMAN with a rescue color band. I'm about to go to the gym. So I'm wearing this, the GBDH 2000. Ryan, can you hold this? So I'm wearing the GBDH 2000. I gotta take it off, all right? So we're gonna be without the heart rate monitor today as we unbox this brand new metal bezel MUDMAN. Whoa! You can see that thing across the room. Look at this. Take it off. It's plastic baggy. We have a little toasted marshmallow here. Look at that. It's a MUDMAN and it's metal. All right. I don't have my multi-tool on me. I left it in the other room. Oh wow, you can take that off without scratching it with a knife. How about that? I never knew that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Guys, my eyes hurt. Guys, look, I'm gonna have to put on my pit vipers just to look at my watch, all right? Because this thing's bright. Look at that. Very bright, and look at it. It matches my pit vipers. Does it? Yeah. Same yellow color, right? It's just that the pit vipers have splatter paint. I might have to get some splatter paint on this rescue yellow. All right, but how does it fit? That's the question. And they put plastic on this. All right, get this plastic off. All right, so people are gonna wanna know. So I'm gonna tell you guys about this, this buckle's metal. These tangs are metal. It's a double tang, all right? The keeper is plastic. The band is plastic. It kind of feels softer than the band on my other MUDMAN.
Daddy, there's another one.
There's another one in there? Oh my goodness, that's my old watch. All right, let's put it on. Let's put it on. All righty. So, kind of stiff. Now, the thing that you gotta remember is that the MUDMAN is built for durability. It's built to be tough, all right? And my old one, it took some breaking in, all right? And so right off the bat, I don't know if it broke in or I broke into it, because I swear that this wrist used to be a full 8.5 inches, and now it's less. I think that my old MUDMAN squished my wrist, because my right wrist is still 8.5 inches, all right? But there you go. What do you guys think about that? Now the bezel is metal. Now remember, we have the this mini bolt action pen by Right in the Rain, and we tap. And this instrument, by listening to the tapping noise, we can detect what a substance is, whether it's a mineral, an element, plasma, anything. It can be detected by this tap. All right. So you can see I'm tapping the screen. And this screen is mineral glass, all right? Now look at this bezel. The bezel is metal. Now how about these little, what would you even call these? These little clamps, screw down clamps.
There's another one.
Doesn't sound like metal, it sounds like plastic. That's a good thing, because honestly,
There's another one.
All right, Donald, is there another watch in this box? It's the same watch that I was wearing before. All right. Sorry, I know that all these unboxings are chaotic, and a lot of the chaos comes from kids. All right. All right, look, it says G-Shock, but the G-Shock's also yellow, and that's metal. The bezel's metal, and so I was a little bit apprehensive about this, thinking that the bezel, because it's jagged, might scratch or damage equipment, right? So these little hold down things, little keepers, the crenellations, the futuristic barnacles, as the Mad Watch Collector calls them, are not metal. So the amount of damage you will cause to stuff around you is minimized. But these screws do stick out a little bit, which is the same thing as on the other MUDMAN. Gentlemen, I gotta go to the gym. So I'm gonna go use this while I'm working out. I'm gonna leave the GBDH 2000 here, and then we'll come back and we will talk some more about it. Let's go. All right, it's 10:15. but this watch is showing 11:15. Now, you notice that the seconds are pretty much the same, okay? That's because the metal bezel MUDMAN has multi-band 6. So it's synced up the time, but it has no idea what time zone that I am in, right? This one does on account of the GPS. So I don't actually have to set the time on the metal bezel MUDMAN. I just have to set the time zone, right? Roxana, can you hold this phone? Hold this phone. All right, never mind. Ryan, to set it, you have to hold down set. All right. All we have to do is set the what time zone we're in. All right, the city is Rio, Fenway, Rao, UTC, Lisbon. All right, we're going the wrong way around the world. We have to go all the way around the world. All right. Delaware, Kathmandu, Argentina, Singapore, Hong Kong. Let's keep on going through. Tokyo, Sydney, Honolulu, Anchorage, LA, Denver, we're almost there. Mexico, Chicago, there we are. All right. Now we can stop setting it. And you have to set the latitude and longitude. That's for the sunrise and sunset information. But there we go. This is the correct time now. All I've done is just set the time zone. And now the actual time is correct. The rest of the stuff we'll set later. We just got to go to the gym. Come on. A husband and wife must always wear the same thing. Clothes, same clothes. All right. A husband and wife must always wear the same clothes. Guys, we just got to the gym. And look at this. Denise is totally cramping my style. Right? Look at me. This is outrageous. Who got dressed first today?
Me.
Yeah, whatever. I gotta take off my pants. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way I'm going now. I'm stuck. It's too hot for me to be wearing sweatpants, all right? I cannot wear sweatpants if it's hotter than 50 degrees out. Now, what is the temperature? Good question. You can find out by turning on the, over here on the barometer at the bottom is the temperature. It says 81. It's not actually 81. That is my body temperature. If you did want to find out the actual temp, you have to take this watch off so that the thermometer is not picking up your body heat. All right, what are you wearing on your wrist, little D? Oh, no. All right, well, obviously no heart rate monitor on the metal bezel MUDMAN with a rescue color band, but this is totally powered by the sun. You get the tough solar charging, and heart rate monitors, they put a huge drain on batteries. See, how often do you have to charge up your Fitbit?
Every couple days.
Every couple days. All right, well, you never have to worry about charging on this one. I mean, you might not know your heart rate, but who cares? Just work harder. Who cares what your actual heart rate is? All right, guys, win the warm-up. You gotta win the warm-up. Warm up my arms. And this is giving, a little bit of weight to my left arm, right? Maybe, I don't know, 2 ounces. Well, you gotta balance it out, right? All right, win the warm-up. Win the warm-up. There you go. Looking huge. Looking gigantic. Let's go, lift that weight. How many was that?
3.
3, wow, all right.
My hands hurt more than my legs.
Let's go, toughen up.
How's that band holding up in sweat?
Oh, sweat resistance?
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out. You gotta get it sweaty. It hasn't melted yet. Need some more weight. Alright, I was really hoping that this band would be like color coordinated to all of these weights they have here. Fortunately, it clashes. I believe that this color is intended to clash with everything. I started lifting in the 90s, so it's all about having gigantic triceps, like Mark McGuire. Best way to do that is skull crushers. These were the best exercise to do in the 90s. All right, post-workout meal. Sausage wrap, homemade hummus, vegetables. What's that, slugs?
Vegetables.
Oh, all right, well, they'll fry it up. We gotta replace all the nutrients we lost lifting weights. Needs more salt. All right, we are back on the tabletop here in the dining room that for some reason has a lot of all these marks on here. It's all dinged up for some reason. And those of you watching on Smell-O-Vision will be happy to know that I took a shower since going to the gym and everything. And so, what are my first impressions of the metal bezel MUDMAN with the rescue color band? So far, so good. It's positive, all right? Now, it's as positive as the LCD here, which I think is pretty good. The legibility is pretty good. Now, I made a lot of hay in a previous video talking about the legibility of the MUDMAN, and so the problems with it are that when you hit the light, there's some spots where it's just totally blank, and it has to do with, you know, the light canceling itself out. That still happens. And another issue is the glare. There's a lot of glare, and there's a duplex screen because when you go to the compass or the barometer, you have another purple LCD atop the base LCD. And that does diminish some of the clarity. It causes glare. Overall, I think the legibility is good. All right, I got used to the legibility issues, and it doesn't really bother me anymore. And is this metal bezel MUDMAN, is it better legibility wise? You know, it's kind of weird that, like, my first impression without comparing it side by side, like, I think it might be a little bit better. I haven't really been able to put my finger on it exactly, but it's something that I'll explore in an upcoming video where I'll compare these two MUDMAN. This is the regular plastic bezel. Now, for those of you who weren't here for the whole, story arc of the MUDMAN, let me get my pointer pen over here. My pointer pen, of course, is a mini bolt action pen by Right in the Rain. But if you look here, this bezel is plastic, okay? See how it's pulling away? It's kind of buckling. All right, remember I got the feeler gauge out, and what was it, like 1/128ths of an inch difference from this spot to that spot? Something like that. Well, this metal bezel MUDMAN solves that problem, okay? Because this bezel's metal. We're not gonna see the bezel pull away from the screen. There's not gonna be any type of warpage under normal atmospheric conditions, right? And so that's the appeal of that metal bezel. All right, now these futuristic barnacles are still plastic, as I discussed before. And so, like, the legibility, you know, maybe it's a little bit better. It's hard to tell whether it's actually better or just a placebo. But like I said, we'll compare them head to head. All right, but now let me just focus on the first impressions of this watch. Now this yellow in person, it looks a lot cooler than in the pictures. All right, now this is the yellow that a firefighter would wear, you know, in rescue equipment. And this is that high visibility yellow color of, their suits, pretty much, right? So it matches. And so that color is a really cool color. It's not a banana yellow, and it's not really like Laffy Taffy color. It is legitimately a rescue yellow color. And this plastic wing is also that color, same color as a band, right? And so this whole look where you have the black watch or the black bezel and then this rescue yellow color is a color that G-Shock's done before with special edition models. For example, the Frogman, I believe there was a special Japanese edition Frogman for the Tokyo Fire Department, if I remember correctly. And so the whole look is really cool. There's 2 other watches in this series. One is a Gravity Master and the other one is a Rangeman. My Rangeman's not here, by the way. It is gone back again for warranty repairs, so I'm not really happy with the Rangeman. But the Rangeman did look really cool with the black body and this rescue yellow band. Now, is this band like different material? Like pulling it out of the box this morning, it did seem like not as stiff. And I don't know, there's something to it. It's hard to tell exactly. Now this MUDMAN's really worn in, all right? And so it's really beaten up. It's been through the ringer. And I don't know, let's say it's about the same, but there's just a little bit of a difference, barely perceptible. I can't tell with just the texture on the side. Is like fresh. It hasn't been as eroded as my old one. Cause like the first impression of the MUDMAN, whenever you put on the MUDMAN, it feels really stiff. It feels kind of like it's kind of like tight, on your wrist because of this angle that the wings force the band into. And so like my first impression of the MUDMAN was that, oh man, this is too small. This is not going to work. Now, I guess I broke into the MUDMAN, or maybe I broke in the MUDMAN. It's hard to tell. Either way, after a while of wearing the MUDMAN, I was really impressed. Now, this really constrained fit does have an advantage. Like if you get really dirty, like really greasy, like you have hydraulic oil dripping all down you, you're working on hydraulic equipment, you have it all over you. This watch does not slide around like other watches I have tested in that environment. For example, the GD010, I was replacing hydraulic filters and I got hydraulic oil all over me. And this slid around a lot, all right? Now, as I've discussed before in a video where I talk about the fit of the GD010, there's a lot of bulge in the band. This is really good if you have a 2x4 shaped wrist. Like the shape that the band makes is bulges out very wide, okay? Not so on the MUDMAN, all right? And what that does is it really locks the watch in place, okay? So if your primary objective in a watch is comfort, you're not gonna pick up the MUDMAN. If you're just a casual watch wearer, if you have like an easygoing life, it's not harsh, you don't work under harsh conditions, you probably will not like the MUDMAN, all right? But if you are working under harsh conditions with a lot of sweat, a lot of slime, a lot of debris, a lot of, mud, hydraulic oil, breakfast burrito drippings, etc., all sorts of filth, the MUDMAN is the way to go, all right? It's a watch that with this one, it really impressed me with its ruggedness and durability and how well it's stuck there under adverse conditions. And so, like, my first impression of this one is it would do the same. I mean, it's not a huge difference except that the bezel's metal, right? And then obviously the color of the band. But the other components seem to be identical, all right? Now, again, the screen, maybe I'll do another video where we can attach these together onto a pipe or something, strap them to a pipe and hold it all different angles, and we can compare and contrast the visibility. Not a huge difference. I mean, the whole topic right now, the topic du jour of the Casio world is the angle of ideal visibility, right? And so we expect the watch to be the most visible head on, but a lot of the new Casio watches, just a few degrees off 90 degrees is the ideal viewing. And that's bothering a lot of people. For example, this is the new AE 1600 and we're looking at it head on, all right? And it becomes crisper when it's not exactly head on. We have a little bit of an angle, just a slightly obtuse angle. It's more pronounced going in this direction. You can kind of see how it's a little bit dim and it's very crisp right here. So I just gave it a few degrees of yaw, and already we're seeing, you know, improvements. And so is the MUDMAN that way? Well, here's the MUDMAN straight on. Give it a few degrees of yaw. And it's hard to tell because of the glare. I mean, that is an issue. But if we move it aft, all right? No, we're moving it 4. This would be aft, right? Pilots would be quick to correct me, but you know, we'll do that upcoming video. Right now, just first impressions. You know, I think the visibility is good on the MUDMAN. All right, if you know what you're in for, you'll just get over it. I mean, I made videos before. I'm like, hey guys, watch out for the visibility of MUDMAN. That's because previous to having the MUDMAN, I had the GBDH 2000. And it will spoil you, that MIP screen. You can see it at all different angles, all different lighting conditions. Even though it's a negative screen technically, the legibility is fantastic, right? So if legibility is the #1 issue, definitely get an MIP G-Shock, all right? Now, if the visibility is secondary to durability, get the MUDMAN, because the digits are big, and you know, you get over the glare, all right? And then if you press the button at night, you're just gonna have to remember that there's gonna be a few angles where you might lose it. Whatever, big deal. You'll live with it, right? Because the purpose of a G-Shock is to be tough, and the MUDMAN does that. All right, now, what we ought to do, one thing we haven't done yet, is really go through the features of the compass, barometer, and altimeter, which is, to this point, not something that I've done a lot of. So the compass, there's some features in here to help you get your bearings, keep your bearings, where, you know, you can lock in your bearing, and then, you know, it will still show you north and your target bearing, right? So we haven't used that in the wild. And then the barometer also, I believe, has the ability to keep track of how it is going up or down. And then we have the storm alert system, right? When the sun drops. And then the altimeter has a way of displaying your ascent and descent, which we haven't done a whole lot of. I did a little bit of that in Caprock Canyon before, when I compared this MUDMAN to the GBDH 2000, talking about hiking, right? And we've done more hiking, by the way. Last weekend we were in Guadalupe National Park, Kittrick Canyon, and then also Lincoln National Forest. And my 19-year-old son was wearing the GW 9400, and I asked him what he thought about it. And he says, it's good at telling time. That's a quote. My oldest son says that this is good at telling time. It seemed like he liked it, you know? You give it back before you headed back to college, and it seemed like he really liked it. And, you know, maybe I'll ask him to wear it some more. Maybe, you know, under the condition that, you know, he gives us more of a developed opinion of the GW 9400, which, by some accounts, is the best watch ever made. You know, Casio had a problem making the GW 9400. They made it too good. And every watch following that is just pales in comparison. Is this MUDMaster better than the GW 9400? I think it's more durable. Definitely more durable. And is better suited to harsh environments. You know, as tough as the GW 9400 is. And one other big advantage of the MUDMAN over the old Rangeman is that the MUDMAN's thinner. I think it's amazing, you know, working on equipment, how this watch, you know, is not a small watch, but it hugs the wrist so tightly that if you're a diesel mechanic, or you're just doing equipment maintenance, which I have to do a lot of in the oil field, you know, you can still reach into tight spots. That's the advantage of the MUDMAN, right? And so, again, I expect more of the same for this metal bezel MUDMAN. Maybe not as much, like, look at this, how worn down this resin is on the bezel. You know, it's just so dinged up, scratched up, warped. You know, this patina. It's It's been treated roughly. Maybe it's because of the bioresin, I don't know. And look at this where it says G-Shock. You guys see that? It's like colored in yellow. And so is this arrow here pointing to the sensor. And this is where the atmospheric sensor is for the altimeter and barometer. All right. Now, also, I want to point out that these buttons on the left side are metal, and this is like a gunmetal color. These screws that hold in the band are a gunmetal color. And the shrouds for the right-handed buttons are gunmetal metal color. These buttons are plastic, they're black, right? So slightly different appearance, and I don't want to compare too much these MUDMAN, because that will be a topic in an upcoming video. In fact, let me just throw the MUDMAN, so I'm not tempted to keep on comparing it. All right, this is just the first impressions of the metal bezel MUDMAN. The color, you know, like I said before, in person, it's really cool. I wore it to the gym, and I kind of liked how it looked. And, you know, a lot of the clothes that I wear have like reflective strips on the sleeves or pant legs. And so this is kind of along the same lines where it's like, you know, safety yellow. Like if you had to wear a safety vest at work, or if you already have like a band of this yellow already on your sleeves or pant legs, like this is the same. You know, my last job, we had dark blue FRs that had this color on the sleeves with a reflective band. And I don't have any gear now that has like this color, but we still have reflective bands. So this is a high visibility yellow color. You know, if you have a lot of safety equipment, it will match. And if you are a fighter, you know, this might go along with your firefighter gear. You know, we have some first responders and who check into their videos every now and then, like Fireman Fratch. He is a diehard of the range man, but maybe this one will pique his interest if you know, he wants to get a watch at matches that firefighting yellow color. Gentlemen, what do you think? You think about this MUDMAN? A lot of you guys have already said that you've got the metal bezel MUDMAN. You love it. You say it's the ultimate watch. And I'm gonna test it out. Like in concept, I love the idea of a metal bezel because, you know, of the durability of metal, obviously. My question is, am I gonna ding everything up as, you know, if I bang into it, like Shane's pickup or, you know, equipment at work, whatever? Will this metal damage other things around it? Well, that's what we have to find out, you know? And so that will be part of the test of wearing this watch, and I'll report back, tell you guys what I think, and how much ding can this metal bezel MUDMAN take before we're gonna see some battle scars, right? Speaking of battle scars, you know, this is a metal bezel with none of the futuristic barnacles, which are like crenellations, none of these crenellations to protect this bezel. This one's plenty scratched, and this is just my church watch. I don't know how a church watch could get so scratched up. But I have another contender for church watch, which is the Fine Metallic series. And this is the silver Casio of the Fine Metallic. You might be wondering why the metal bezel is so scratched up. Well, because I wore this to work while doing maintenance on some cryogenic equipment. The makers of this watch said that their goal was to make a watch whose band matched the color and luster of the metal bezel perfectly, which it does. But it also had to be abrasion resistant. So I had to test whether it was abrasion resistant. So stay tuned for the video where I will give you my results of the abrasion test of this G-Shock Fine Metallic Series watch, the GM2100YM. All right, now I did get a gold one. The gold one I did not tough test. I kept it in good shape because I'm gonna try and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people are telling me, politely or impolitely, that it's not for me. The gold is not for me. The gold square fine metal is not my style. Take it off, Jim. You're embarrassing everybody. Pretty much is what people are saying. All right, much better response for the silver one. you know. But stay tuned for more videos in this one. This is an underrated watch. You know, this fine metallic silver, I really like it. Really comfortable. And, you know, it's easier to adjust than with a bracelet, you know, if like your wrist starts to swell. But this, you know, this metal G-steel watch, you know, $300, it's a pretty good price. It looks really nice. You know, I did have a problem with the clasp not being as durable as I would like, but I can't stop liking this one, especially at the price. But we have to compare these two more in a video, so stay tuned for that one. That's a message in Morse code. All right, gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching.